The very first sneak peek of Alien Romulus from the brilliant mind behind Evil Dead is here to give you chills. It's like diving into a space nightmare filled with tension, gore, and a whole lot of sweat. But wait, before we dive into dissecting every frame of this trailer, make sure you stick around till the end. We've got some juicy discussions lined up. We'll talk about how the star of Alien Romulus brings back a fighting technique we haven't seen in a whopping 38 years. Plus, we'll delve into how this movie cleverly avoids a recurring mythology mistake that's tripped up two previous flicks. Trust me, it's gonna be a wild ride. Now get ready to feel those spine-tingling shivers, because the first glimpse of Alien Romulus has arrived. And guess what? It's packed with all the classic Alien goodies. Face-huggers, youngsters trying to outwit the menacing Xenomorph, and a hefty dose of mystery to boot. Watch the teaser above, and you'll catch Kaylee Spenny's character Rains stepping out of an elevator, pulse rifle in hand. It's a nod to Sigourney Weaver's iconic moment in Aliens, and it sets the tone for what looks to be an epic sci-fi horror adventure. Seems like Rains might be our leading hero, backed up by a stellar cast including Isabela Merced, David Jonsson, Archie Renault, Spike Fearn, and Eileen Wu. But before we get to Rains and her crew, the trailer amps up the suspense with eerie shots of deserted space station corridors. Whimpers and cries echo in the darkness, building tension until we're hit with frantic shouts and one blood-curdling scream. Then, we're treated to a door splattered with that unmistakable gooey red stuff. It's enough to make your skin crawl. According to Kaylee Spenny's recent interview with Variety, Alien Romulus fits snugly between the first and second films in the franchise's timeline. Director Fede Alvarez, in an exclusive breakdown with Total Film, confirmed it's set 20 years after the original while Ripley is in hypersleep. He emphasized that the technology in the Alien universe isn't so much about time passing, but more about the location and environment. Expect a blue-collar vibe with low-tech, analog gadgets, a nod to Alvarez's 80s upbringing. And here's a fun tidbit. Ridley Scott, the mastermind behind the 1979 original, has already seen the entire movie. Alvarez shared his nerves while awaiting Scott's verdict, but it turned out Scott was blown away, calling it fucking great. Alright, now let's dive into why Alien Romulus' star is just the right opportunity to reintroduce a kick-butt fighting style we haven't seen in nearly 4 decades. Plus, it's the chance to bring back those awesome cargo exosuits from Aliens. Alien Romulus is like the perfect flick to bring back Ripley's epic loader suit from Aliens. You know, that badass exosuit she rocked while taking on the alien queen? Originally just for hauling stuff from the Sulaco to the dropship, that suit became Ripley's secret weapon in squaring off mano a mano. Honestly, it's probably one of the slickest methods for battling aliens we've seen yet, even beating out the Marines' first go at it. Unlike other Alien sequels, Romulus is in this sweet spot in the timeline where bringing back the exosuit totally makes sense. Alien 3 was on some prison planet without the tech, and Alien Resurrection was way too far ahead in the future for it to fit. But Romulus? It's just a hop, skip, and a jump away from the events of Aliens. That means the characters will likely have access to similar gear, making the exosuit a solid choice for fighting Xenomorphs once again. And let's be real, bringing back the exosuit in Romulus would be a killer nod to the franchise's roots. It's like paying homage to one of the most epic showdowns we've seen in Alien history. Not only does it make total sense to bring back the exosuit in terms of the timeline, but Alien Romulus might have inadvertently found the perfect candidate to operate it. So you know Kaylee Spenny, right? She's been in Pacific Rim Uprising, where she rocked it as a pilot of a giant fighting suit. Now, she's part of the cast for Alien Romulus, and that's got us thinking. Sure, Pacific Rim and Alien are pretty different beasts thematically, but Spenny's got the chops for action scenes, no doubt. If her character in Romulus is meant to fill Ripley's shoes, then having her take on aliens in an exosuit could be a slick way for the movie to connect with the originals. Plus, who wouldn't want to see Spenny kicking some Xenomorph butt? It's like the perfect fit. Alright, let's chat about why Alien Romulus's timeline is a smart move that avoids a common mistake seen in 2 previous films. So, you know how the whole Weyland-Yutani Corporation backstory has been a bit of a headache in the Alien series? Well, in Alien Romulus, they just sidestepped that whole mess. See, since Romulus sits snugly between Alien and Aliens, it doesn't need to dive into the complicated origins of Weyland-Yutani. And that's a good thing. Remember how Alien 3 and a couple of later flicks tried to untangle that mess and ended up losing their way? Yeah, not pretty. But with Romulus, the corporation's already up and running, and the story wraps before Aliens kicks in. So viewers can just sit back and enjoy the thrills without getting bogged down in corporate backstory. Sure, there's a risk of going too heavy on the gore and losing out on character depth like Alien 3 did, but hey, that's still better than what happened in Alien vs. Predator and Prometheus when they tried to explain Weyland-Yutani's history. Those movies ended up drowning in complicated plots and extra characters that just muddied the waters. So, by keeping things simple, Romulus can focus on delivering the scares and intense moments we all love without getting tangled up in unnecessary details. Smart move if you ask me. The Alien series has had its fair share of struggles with Weyland Industries. Just look at Prometheus and Alien vs. Predator. They couldn't quite make the corporation interesting. The thing is, in the original Alien movies, Weyland-Yutani was always this shady, profit-driven entity, willing to sacrifice anyone to make a quick buck. Ripley summed it up perfectly with her classic line. But in Alien vs. Predator and Prometheus, they tried to dig into the company's backstory, and let's just say it fell flat. Spending time with the founders didn't add much to the story, and honestly, it felt like a bit of a drag. Now, some folks might wonder if Alien Romulus will make Alien vs. Predator canon and ditch Ridley Scott's prequels. But truth be told, it won't shake things up too much. Charles Weyland and Peter Weyland were both these over-the-top corporate bigwigs, playing with forces they couldn't control and paying the price. Their stories were kinda predictable, to be honest. So Romulus is probably better off steering clear of the whole Weyland mess and focusing on what it does best, delivering spine-tingling thrills and chills. The next Alien flick really needs to keep Weyland-Yutani in the shadows. Portray them as this shady, untouchable behemoth, like they did in Alien and Aliens. These movies nailed it by letting the Xenomorph take center stage as the main baddie. The last thing we need is some human villain hogging the spotlight. By keeping Weyland-Yutani on the sidelines but still hinting at their presence, those early films managed to poke fun at corporate greed while keeping the focus on the real threat, the Xenomorph. And with Alien Romulus slotting in between Alien and Aliens, there's hope it'll follow suit. Think about it. Director Alvarez's previous works like Evil Dead 2013 and Don't Breathe rocked because they kept things simple. Limited locations, small casts, straightforward storylines. If Romulus sticks to that winning formula, it could avoid the same missteps that made other Alien flicks less scary and more yawn-inducing. Here's to keeping it spine-chilling. Well, that's it for today. For now, make sure that you like our video. Please share your views in the comment section with us. Subscribe to the channel to get updated, and do not forget to hit the bell icon to never miss an update. Thanks for watching the video. See you at the next one.